One nation, Kenya, one people. Kenya, one nation, Kenya, one people.
Through the golden era, moving on. Kenya is the star we look upon, holding the nation's flag, we're growing strong. Our foundation stone. Whoa, whoa. Kenya, one nation, Kenya, one people. The golden era of Nyayothe. Kenya, one nation, Kenya, one people.
They come. They come from all parts of the country. They come from all walks of life. They come in thousands. They come to listen, to follow in the footsteps of a philosopher.
Kenya, Kenya.
A philosopher for his nation.
Mimi Daniel Nyayothe Arap Moi naapa kwamba nitafanya kazi zangu za urais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya kwa uaminifu na kutimiza wajibu wa kazi hizo kwa bidii na kwa moyo mkunjufu, na kwamba nitawatendea haki watu wote wa sheria na desturi za Jamhuri ya Kenya bila woga, upendeleo wala chuki. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu nisaidie.
A children's choir, a sight and sound that's repeated 1,000-fold throughout the length and breadth of a country in which half the entire population is under 15.
Nataka hawa wakae wakijua baba yupo. Kabila langu ni Kenya. Mtoto huyu ni mtoto wa Moi.
It seems a fitting symbol of a nation at peace with itself, a nation whose children can look to the future with confidence. For these young voices, the songs are everything. As they sing, as they hear their own voices blending in harmony with those of their brothers and sisters, their minds are too full of the present to think of those distant events which have shaped the course of their nation's history. Is it really more than 20 years since Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, the man who broke the bonds of Kenya's colonial past, was finally laid to rest, and the world's attention turned to the thoughtful, dignified face of a former country school teacher and wondered what would happen? Daniel Nyayothe Arap Moi. How could anyone follow in the footsteps of a political giant like Jomo Kenyatta? How could he make 30 million people from different cultures, religions and traditions share his own powerful and distinctive vision of their nation's future? The world watched and waited.
In Africa today, maybe not in our lifetime, this continent will be one of the richest continents. And I hope that our partners for development and for the improvement of the well-being of members of human race, not of black people or white people, of all people in the world. We all speak with one voice.
So many world leaders, past and present, have recognized President Moi's humble yet leadership qualities and salute him. Whatever the forum, international conference or intergovernmental congress, President Moi's opinion, contribution and influence are sought and gladly welcomed. Over the years, Nairobi has become the venue for important meetings between statesmen from countries across the continent and indeed from across the world. At these meetings, President Moi has helped to resolve differences between nations and has contributed significantly to the struggle for peaceful cooperation. In fact, throughout his presidency, and in particular during his tenure as chairman of the Organization for African Unity, the quest for peace and prosperity throughout the African continent and the world at large has been his sole goal. Leaders from all parts of the world clasp the hand of Kenya's president, in whom they find a healthy kinship and understanding of mutual problems.
Maendeleo ya ushirikiano ya Afrika Mashariki utaendelea mbele, na natumaini kwamba kutakuwako na political cooperation or political federation ya Afrika Mashariki. Asante sana.
Our present visit to Nairobi is an expression of the friendship between our two peoples, of Romania's political will to develop its traditional relations with Kenya.
Many of us in this conference are no doubt aware of disasters occasioned by natural calamities. These calamities have serious adverse effects on human settlement. I therefore call upon the international community to be sensitive and responsive to the plight of communities that are afflicted by such disasters by offering without delay assistance to alleviate their distress.
In the case of the search for peace, the President has always been in the forefront. When we came here in 1989 to negotiate for a couple of weeks between the Eritreans and Ethiopians to try to bring peace there, President Moi was our host. He provided a peace house in which we held peace talks and took care of all of our needs. I think it's obvious that President Moi is the only person in a position of responsibility that both sides trust.
International diplomacy is President Moi's greatest strength, and he has met more royalties and world leaders than any other African head of state. Many leaders from both West and East see President Moi as a personal friend and have stood by him during the many crises which have faced Africa in recent times.
Regardless of party affiliation, we must be united. Our individual thinking or thinking about this party or that party should be put aside. I want you to convey my best wishes to your head of state, and with our closer cooperation, we will be able to forge ahead together as members of the non-alignment movement.
How can anyone achieve so much, touch the lives of so many people in a time span that seems like the blinking of an eye in such a vast and ancient land? This film seeks to answer that question. It will try to define that strong but subtle bond between a leader and his nation, or as he would probably prefer to think of them, the achievements of Kenya's people responding to his leadership, inspiration and care.
Wananchi waliwachagua ili muweke maneno yao, vitendo vyao, matakwa yao mbele, kwa sababu nyinyi ndio mlionichagua. Lazima nyinyi muwe mwanzo wa mambo haya yote mpaka kufika kilele chake.
Nothing is achieved without sacrifice. And in President Moi's case, the sacrifice has been a self-imposed workload that would have destroyed lesser men. Every waking hour is devoted to